Barack Obama, Joe Biden, all the bigwigs, they're refusing to campaign with Kamala? I mean, the liberal media is trying to spin it and saying, oh, she doesn't want them. Are you kidding me? You're not going to take like the most popular guy ever in the Democrat Party, Barack Obama, and put him out there? I mean, they tried it. Apparently it didn't go so well because he told black men that they were sexist for not voting for her. But now she's just going to desert. I don't think she's deserting him. I think he sees the handwriting on the wall. Thank you very much. And he wants to be associated with winners, not losers. And check this one out. Here's the latest and greatest out of Polymarket. Just a few moments before I came on air, you're looking at Donald Trump with a 65% chance. This is the highest I've seen thus far. 65% chance of winning. And before anybody says, oh, you know, you get some big whales in there and they're manipulating things, let me just say this is an open market. And in an open market, there can be whales on two sides of the equation. So, you know, if somebody's doing something kind of funky that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, this is the beauty of a market. Somebody else comes in and it course corrects itself. This is why prediction markets actually have only been wrong twice, going all the way back to 1866. Now, this is only foreigners that are able to do this because in the US, we don't actually allow you to make various wagers on prediction markets. So these are foreigners that are doing this. Take it for what it's worth. There are regulations surrounding US users, but you can check it anytime you want, 24/7. Just go over to the site and you can see what's going on. And you can bet on anything. They use crypto blockchain to back it up. Super interesting company. But this is fascinating to me. And it's all happening as you have Barack Obama and Joe Biden effectively ditching Kamala. I don't see Michelle out there these days. I don't see Biden or Dr. Jill Biden out there. And KJP, world's worst press person, wants you to know you shouldn't read too much into it. You know, the President Biden, he's a busy man.
He has so far only campaigned alongside Vice President Harris in an official campaign event capacity once. We have reporting that we don't expect to see the two of them together in these final 2 weeks. What is the reason for that?
Well, I would remind folks that he was in Philadelphia just last week doing a campaign event just last week on his own. And so would remind folks that he was doing that. There's going to be a campaign-related event, as I just mentioned, tomorrow, and there'll be more to come. I think there will be more to come. We cannot forget what we have seen this past couple of weeks. 2 historic hurricanes, right? Let's not forget that.
So he's busy, okay? I mean, they keep telling us it's the most important election ever, but he's too busy. He's too busy to go out and campaign for Kamala Harris in the most important election ever. I'm not buying it. I'm so not buying it. He doesn't like her. He's really mad at her, understandably so, because, you know, he was top of the ticket and she whizzed in and took it away from him. And Barack Obama, who probably was behind this, along with some other key players in the media, think CNN, New York Times, David Plouffe, David Axelrod, former Obama campaign people. I mean, there were people in the party that were making this all happen. And now they're hanging her out to dry because Obama's not even going to show up for these things. I mean, look at this, guys. They are sending her out with the B team. She's got Liz Cheney by her side. Woo!
In this race, we have the opportunity to vote for and support somebody you can count on. We're not always going to agree, but I know Vice President Harris will always do what she believes is right for this country.
We have in our grasp the ability to determine the course of our country.
Oh, you know, boy. I mean, so she goes on and on and on. So she's on this little tour with Cheney, and then occasionally they work Maria Shriver into things too. See?
And Maria, let me just add one thing also, because it bears repeating. I have seen a lot of Republicans go up to Liz Cheney and thank her. And they may not be doing it publicly. Because I think she has shown, to your point, extraordinary courage, especially in this environment post-January 6th, where there's an undercurrent that is violent in terms of the language and the tenor. And
violent
for her
from who?
to show the courage she has shown is extraordinary. But I've seen Republicans come up to her and...
okay, so blah, 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 blah. So she's got no key Dems. She's out there with Maria Shriver and Liz Cheney, the B team. shall we say. And on top of that, you get a B team that isn't even providing the authenticity that is so needed in this very moment in time. Maria Shriver, for example, former NBC journalist at Kennedy, etc., former wife of Schwarzenegger out there in California, who became the governor of California. I want you to see her here because someone in the audience, they're doing this town hall, and in a town hall, you're supposed to just take questions from everyone. That's sort of how the town hall is supposed to go, right? So you have a mic, you're running around, you're getting question after question in because these are supposed to be regular people and regular voters with regular questions, except not when you're bringing in the former NBC news journalist and you've got Liz Cheney and Kamala Harris on stage. No. Maria is telling the people who ask, hey, can we ask questions? No. We have some predetermined questions. Watch.
You're not, unfortunately. We have some predetermined questions, and hopefully I'll be able to ask some of the questions that might be in your head. I hope so.
So she's going to assume she knows what's in your head, and she's just going to spit it out because it's all been predetermined, you see? Because that's how we roll here at Kamala Harris's HQ. Everything is predetermined. Everything is scripted. And often plagiarized. More on that story in a moment. But first, CBS News.
It seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Kind of a difference, right? Kind of a difference. And, people are kind of upset about it because it looks to me like she was edited down to sound like she actually knew what she was talking about. I don't know if she did in either answer, seemed to know what she was talking about, but one felt a lot less word salad-esque. Well, Donald Trump's all over it. Here he is just last night at one of his rallies talking about how 60 Minutes was just, unbelievable.
How about 60 Minutes, the way they protected Kamala? She gave an answer. Think of it. 60 Minutes, CBS, and they ought to lose their license and they ought to take it off the air. It's the biggest. How about this? She gives an answer that was cognitively a mess, right? She gives an answer that was grossly incompetent. They removed the entire answer and put another answer in there. Where the hell? They don't do that with anybody that I've ever heard. With me, they do the opposite. I give them a gorgeous, full-flowing, magnificent, beautiful answer. I call it the weave, right? Always get right back to the right place, but you cover a lot of territory this way. But you give a beautiful answer, and then what they do is they take pieces of it out, and all of you say, what the hell happened to my beautiful answer? They do the opposite. And that's bad, too, but that's not like this. They took her entire answer out, threw it out, and they said, this looks terrible. And they put a new answer in. I mean, that's the biggest scandal, in my opinion, because that's election interference. That's the biggest scandal in the history of broadcasting. Right? The biggest scandal in the history of broadcasting, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. They're being sued. They're being sued by a lot of people. No, they should lose their license for that, right? The fake news is protected. How dare he say that? Why would he ever say lose it? They took her answer, threw it out, and gave her a new answer, and they're trying to defend it. Boy, can you imagine if that happened with me? It would be over. The electric chair. And by the way, does anybody have any doubt that they worked with her campaign to get rid of that stupid answer? She's a mess. She's a cognitive mess, and nobody wants to talk about it. And we can't have 4 more years. We had 4 years of it. We can't take another 4 years of it, can we?
Oh, wow. So he's all out in front of this, so much so that 60 Minutes, finally a week after the fact, came out with a statement. I want to share with you over the weekend, actually on Sunday, saying former President Donald Trump is accusing 60 Minutes of deceitful editing of our October 7th interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. That is false. 60 Minutes gave an excerpt of our interview to Face the Nation that used a longer section of her answer than that on 60 Minutes. Same question, same answer, but a different portion of the response. When we edited the interview, when we edit an interview, whether it be a politician, an athlete, a movie star, we strive to be clear, accurate, and on point. The portion of her answer on 60 Minutes was more succinct, which allows time for other subjects in a wide-ranging 21-minute-long segment. And then they go on to knock Trump and say, well, he didn't do an interview, which is irrelevant, frankly, to the rest of it. So everybody's saying, like, hey, where's the transcript? Why can't we see the transcript? Because we really want to see what you did. I mean, we are living in different times, ladies and gentlemen. This is a live show. I am streaming news opinion live without all the bells and whistles of 150 people working on it. And that would have been cable with the 150 people, right? And the whole operation. You think about what's going on over there at 60, where they got like 200 that are just like, I'm exaggerating, but they got a lot of people, all right? They got a lot of people, and they're all working to micromanage this and kind of, deliver an image of Kamala Harris that is what they want because they are in Kamala's camp. Listen, I get it. Yeah, she doesn't make any sense. It's torture. As an editor, you're like, what does she mean? Yeah. But the whole point is we live in an environment right now where you don't have to show us what she means. You just have to show us the raw tape. So release the tape. Let's see the transcript. This is all coming as pressure mounts on the Kamala campaign because no one knows who the heck this lady really is. I mean, think about the McDonald's stuff, right? Donald Trump going over, working at McDonald's.
I like this show. I think I might come back and do it again. Thank you. Look at that. Mr. Look at that. How are you? Thank you, Mr. President. Nice to see you.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much for everything you're doing.
I can see.
We pray for you.
He's living it up. He's having a grand old time, right? We played some of that stuff for you yesterday there at McDonald's. But he did that to point out that, I'm working at McDonald's. Kamala says she worked at McDonald's, but apparently the latest and greatest out of McDonald's is that they can't find her employment records. So they can't find the employment records. There's like no evidence of this. And yet she's going to keep saying, oh yeah, I worked at McDonald's. She sent Timmy out to go to The View to defend her.
She actually worked in a McDonald's. She didn't go and pander and disrespect McDonald's workers by standing there in your red tie and take a picture.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job.
No. He worked at McDonald's. I'm not so sure. Kamala Harris, again, where are the records? So she throws these things out there, and it all comes, ladies and gentlemen, as there's more and more pressure mounting on her.